Growing up in Baltimore, success and positivity were hard to come by.
Yo! Whoa! What's going on?
If it weren't for the Upton Boxing Club and fabled trainer Calvin Ford, Gervonta Davis may not have found either.
Tank was about 7 years old when he first came to the gym. Every time I come in, he was here. Every time it was time to leave, he was here. That's what made him so special.
I was angry a lot as a kid. When I came to the gym, I felt the love that I needed as a child, and I just stuck with it.
The young champion takes pride in where he's from and what he represents to those who look up to him.
Man, I'm so proud of you, Tank, and I think of where you came from, where you at. Now you can come back and get some of the knuckleheads on the right path. Keep doing what you do.
On February 9th, the fighter proclaimed as the one headlines his first main event in the U.S. and takes on former 3-division world champion Abner Mares. Headlines his first main event.
It's not going to be Abner Mares. It's going to be a fighter by the name of Hugo Ruiz. I'm trying to figure out if I saw him fight on he was on the Pacquiao versus Broner undercard. But I'm trying to figure out if he was on the televised portion on the pay-per-view. I could pull it up. But if he is, I'm going to do it during fight week. Today, by the way, right now it's 7:58 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, Thursday, January the 31st, 2019. At 4:30 p.m. today is the media call for Tank Davis and Hugo Ruiz. Abner Mares pulled out of the fight with an injury. I should have known better, and something was up because Abner Mares had a media workout that was supposed to be, was it this Tuesday or last Tuesday? I believe it was this Tuesday, but it was canceled. Normally when a media workout is canceled, it's because of something. It wasn't rescheduled, it was canceled. So a lot of people are speculating that, you know, he didn't make weight or he wasn't going to make weight when he's a smaller fighter. One of our subscribers here, Robert, got into a little bit of shit with Showtime Steven Espinoza. But, you know, it's been a little rough with Showtime PBC. You know, because they have 2 back-to-back fights, 3 of their major cards out of the last, not including the pay-per-views. For example, if you look at the Corrball fight, Charlo versus Corrball, it's going to be Willie Nelson. If you look at Tank Davis versus Abner Mares, and then you look at what happened with Leo Santa Cruz's fight the next week after Tank Davis versus Hugo Ruiz, you got to be thinking like, Al Heyman, like, God damn. So I guess, you know, they must always have fighters on call just in case another fighter pulls out, because they can't just scrap the whole event, and their undercards are not strong enough to carry events. I mean, to carry a whole card. So they had to get Gervonta Tank Davis active, and also they had to make sure that, you know, he fights on February the 9th. It would have looked really, really bad. A lot of people, however, wanted to be Javier Fortuna, right? Fortuna is on the card against Sharif Boyargi. I always fuck up his last name. But here's the thing. You know, he probably wasn't going to be allowed to pull out of that fight for Tank Davis, and who was, you know, like, contracts were in place, you know? You know, the Matvey Korobov situation, that was maybe different. But this situation, nah, especially, you know, he's been, like, working his way up the rankings, like, back up. Like, since the whole Richie Abreu and the no contest, you know, a few years ago. So this is supposed to be like a big card in the fight in a way that could have led maybe a PBC on FS1 or something. So he couldn't just, I would have loved it, but he couldn't just pull out of that. You know, because that's what people are saying. Like, why couldn't they get, you know, Javier Fortuna? You know, it's fucked up. But, you know, that's just the way it is. He be challenging me on fight night. I'm going to whoop you, boy. I'm going to whip you. On Fight Night Champion. I'm going to whip you. But we have a good fight. Have a good, you know, I'm going to whip you. But anyway. So I got a chance to talk to Tevin Farmer. Now, for those who don't know, if you don't believe, I don't believe that the Tevin Farmer Gervonta Davis fight will ever happen. I don't think it's going to ever happen. You know, especially with the political divide. You know, even though, like, there's something going on where DeBella is not doing any, like, as many or any events with PBC anymore. Well, actually, I think Sergey Derevchenko is still his fighter. And that's going to be on PBC. Fuck it, sprained ankle. But I'm at 140. like looking at the division, when you got Berchelt, who's fighting Francisco Vargas in a rematch, it's kind of I can understand the rematch a little bit. But a lot of fans aren't happy with it. It's going to be happening over on ESPN, probably ESPN Plus. Tank Davis, WBA Super World Champion. I don't know how he's WBA Super World Champion over Alberto Machado. And we even talked to Machado about it twice. You know, I'm half Spanish, half Mexican, half black. Talked to Tevin Farmer a couple days ago. He is fighting John O'Carroll March the 15th here in Philadelphia. I'm going to be at that fight. It's going to be very interesting on the zone. And then you have Masayuki Ito, who has been rumored to be fighting Jamel Herring for a long time now. Well, several months now. That fight he had against Chris Diaz was awesome. Then he went back and had his little defense last month. So he still got a little bit of time. He just fought. And I was supposed to cover this fight, and I didn't. I remember. He just fought the day before New Year's Eve. So that was his, defense. And remember, these were the belts that, this is the belt that Loma vacated to move up to 135. So he may be fighting Jamel Herring. Like, they've been really, really talking about that. So if you look at it, 130 pounds is fragmented in regards to, networks. Berchelt, he's with Zanfer and Top Rank. I don't think he has that Golden Boy Alliance anymore. But yet Francisco Vargas has that Golden Boy Alliance. So they're working together. Alberto Machado and Tank Davis can happen, and truth be told, the WBA should order it. But they weird. I can't stand the WBA. They weird. They should order this. There's no way that Gervonta Davis, after losing his belt on the scales, should have been fighting for a Super World title. Because it's just weird, man. So, it's in a situation where these guys, Berchelt has a better chance of moving up and possibly being a Lomachenko opponent, possibly at 135. But when you look at these guys, different networks. On Top Rank ESPN side, they can go with the, winner of Berchelt, Francisco Vargas versus the winner of Ito, Herring. When they do it, he's not ranked up here yet, but he's going to be, if not this month. He probably is. I don't know if these WBO rankings are up to date. He's been fighting on Top Rank on ESPN Plus undercards. Prelims building itself up. And even if you look at the IBF Tevin Farmer, nothing really there. We don't know what Lee Selby what weight is Lee Selby going to be fighting at. Likely he's going to be fighting at 135 pounds on the undercard of Eubank versus DeGale over in the UK on ITV Box Office. So we also got to get our Richard Comey versus Issa Chaniev fight week preview out. Very, very significant fight. Abner Mares, I'm hoping that, whatever happens with this fight, Tank Davis versus Hugo Ruiz, obviously. People feel Tank Davis is going to win, obviously. But I hope that they revisit the Abner Mares fight in the summer. Because one thing, they got to keep Tank Davis active, and, he doesn't plan on moving to 135 anytime soon because there's big politics up there for him. Because Loma, he's reached kind of his cap. He doesn't want to go to the 140, it seems. So these are fight news rankings. I've been working on my rankings the last couple of weeks. So mines are almost up to date. The link is right down below in the description box, fightview360.com. Our store is actually done. We're just working out the kinks to open it up. Our merch store is actually done. I'm going to give you a preview of it later on. And they're not in the video. But yeah, my rankings are almost done. Almost done. Color-coded with mandatories, and who's fighting for the titles and whatnot. I'm TstreeT Controversy. This is TstreeT Controversy Live. Please subscribe.